On yet, George, but welcome to the meeting of Templeton Conservation Commission. If you want to speak without video, there you are.
There it is.
Hello, go for it.
We are live on Channel 8 and YouTube.
Okay, we are ready. It is 5:56. Okay, you guys want me to open the meeting now? Or if she's ready? Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, this is a Culvert Conservation meeting for 3:15, 2021. We are on the TCTV and YouTube. We're at 160 Patriots Road is where we are located. All right, I'm going to open up the meeting. It is now officially 5:57, and I'm going to open up the meeting and starting with some intent for the old Royalston Road Culvert Replacement Project. Okay, Templeton Conservation Commission, Old Royalston Road Culvert Replacement Project, Notice of Intent. Notice is
Hello, George. Unfortunately, we're having some technical issues. Could we just pause the meeting for a quick second?
Sure. I'll wait.
All right, that's good. And if someone could turn off their background noise, that'd be great. But we are back on track. Thank you.
Okay, we're back on track.
Yes, we are ready to resume the meeting. Sorry about that.
This part is now officially 5:58. I'm going to start reading the first hearing for Templeton Conservation Commission, Old Royalston Road Culvert Replacement Project, Notice of Intent. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held on a notice of intent filed by Tighe and Bond on behalf of Templeton Municipal Light and Water Project. Project location is the old Royalston Road map. Are you still there?
Yep.
Okay, I've lost everybody. Okay. All right, project is located on Old Royalston Road, map 4-4, parcel 1. Description of the project is culvert replacement within bordering wetlands subject to flooding and within a riverfront area. The hearing will be held on March 15, 2021 at 6 p.m. via Zoom through TCTV. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should contact Laurie Witter or L. Witter at templetonmass.gov for instructions on how to participate. The notice of intent is available for public view electronically during regular office hours. George Andrews, Chairman, Templeton Conservation. Okay. Let's see, where is that? It's right here. Okay. Who wants to speak first? Is that Ron Davin there?
Yes, it is. I'm Ron Davin from the Templeton Light and Water. This area that we're speaking about is an access road to our Maple Street Well 2. Without this, we can't get to the well. Most people know this area, they call it Three Pipes. And I have my engineers with me tonight, Kate and Dan, that are going to help me go through this. Help all of us, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Hi, my name is Kate Wilkins with Tighe and Bond. As Ron just said, this is for the replacement of the old Royalston Road culverts that lead to the Maple Street wells. Currently, there is a double 48-inch corrugated metal pipe there. It's failing currently. It's mostly blocked, and the roadway is starting to fail in that area as well. The road is starting to erode due to the failed culvert and water not being able to flow properly through there. So there's a concern that the road will be impacted even more than it already is, and we won't be able to get access over to the wells. So that's the main reason for replacing the culvert. So the idea is to take those two 48-inch culverts and replace it with one 8-foot by 6-foot precast box culvert. It'll be 27 linear feet long. It'll have a natural stream bed. Openness ratio is going to be 0.87 feet. The crossing span itself will be 8 feet long. So it'll kind of help open up that area and allow water to flow through more effectively. The area does flood. I mean, it's all floodplain right now. And we're not necessarily going to stop flooding over the roadway. Part of the design also was to create kind of a sort of a spillway in a portion of the road so that water can flow in a more efficient manner across if it does get to a flooding condition instead of kind of going over the entire roadway. One of the things that's also happening is there's going to be a fair bit of grading just because we're kind of moving the culvert from one location, just shifting it slightly to make up for the additional erosion and kind of putting the road embankment back to where it was previously before all the erosion happened. And so in that upstream portion, I can share a screen if it helps with visuals at all.
Will it let you? Yes. Awesome.
Yep. So we've got the upstream section is down to the south and it flows north into Otter River. So this lower section here, we actually are going to have a bit of a kind of a gabion wall weir sort of design. We wanted to make sure that although we're opening up a little bit more hydraulic capacity with the new culvert, we're not going to drain the impoundment because there was some concern from the town that if that area starts to dewater more than it already is, then it might affect the groundwater in the wells. So we wanted to make sure that that wasn't dewatered more than kind of his current condition. So with this installation, we're going to have alterations to bank, land underwater, riverfront area, and bordering land subject to flooding. So as we know, the whole area is floodplain. It's kind of hard to not be in riverfront area here. We have about 6,000 square feet out of the 600,000 square feet of riverfront. Thankfully, it's a nice open vegetated area. And we just recently submitted to Lori an update to the WPA form. Some additional calculations were redone because we had to submit a PCN to the Army Corps of Engineers for the culvert replacement. And they asked us to rework some of the numbers. So there was an increase in impacts to land underwater by about 1,200, 1,300 square feet. That just addressed some of the grading changes and accounted for temporary versus permanent impacts. So we forwarded that updated WPA form as well as a plan set that kind of shows the breakdown of everything and where it's all. Okay, great. I'm glad everybody got that. As for the installation, we're going to be using cofferdams along. I will try to get ourselves to the. So this should help show kind of the proposed work area. We are installing cofferdam along the upland or the upstream portion as well as the downstream portion to isolate the work area. So the area will be dewatered. We're going to be installing a pump that's going to go from one side to the other. Dewatering will take place outside of the work area into the stream. So we'll be pumping clean water to clean water. And if anything is getting pumped from the work area, that's going to be put into a dewatering basin. It's usually a filter bag lined straw bale corral. So water gets discharged into there and then it's allowed to flow and go into either through the filter bag and back to the stream channel. So kind of standard dewatering practices of making sure that our work area is nice and dry as they do the replacement. So you can see that this kind of area here, this 1A7 to 1A6 to 1A5 is the existing condition of where the bank is. So we're going to be filling in a portion of that, but creating another portion over here actually of land underwater. So it takes a little bit of adjusting to move the 2-pipe culvert to a one crossing structure. So the flood spillway is going to be over on this section right off to the left here on the west side, or yes, on the west side. Trying to think what else. That's pretty much the gist of the project of what's actually happening. Just trying to stabilize this roadway, get a more effective crossing in here, and stabilize the site. Dan, is there anything else that you want to add to the overall discussion on the project?
I'd say generally you covered it pretty well, Katie. The one additional thing, the hatches, like it's hard to explain it. Circle like the riprap hatch area.
Right here?
Yeah, those hatches in that area, there's 4 of them. We're planning to protect the wing walls because this is really going to focus a lot of the water through this culvert. The worst case scenario is after this area floods in the spring and it starts receding, when it starts going through this culvert, you'll have some high velocities going through here. So we are proposing riprap to protect the head walls and the culvert in general. We tried to minimize its use, but we definitely want to make sure no additional erosion occurs, which is, similar to what's happening today. So that was the other additional item. That spillway that Katie mentioned on the left side of the screen, that elevation was set to be pretty much at the same elevation as the top of the culvert, so that water will, during flood conditions, it will go over the roadway in one area, where currently when it goes over it, it washes out a fairly large area. So we want to kind of focus that to one area. We're going to put some extra riprap there to protect it some more than it currently is. And then once it gets down to that elevation of the spillway, it should start flowing into the culvert, because that's set at the top of the culvert, set at the same elevation. So it'll slowly transfer there and minimize, the intent is to minimize the erosion on the road.
I do have a question. What does the timeline of this look like?
That was my question.
I guess I can maybe ask Ron if he has an exact timeline. These projects are fairly expensive. Gone are the days where you just take a circular pipe and throw it in the ground. So there's some financing aspects to it that needs to be budgeted for and planned. I don't know the exact timeline.
I want to say we're hoping to do it at the end of September or in October. That's when the water is the lowest at that time. But we still have to go through Army Corps. We got a couple questions from them. We have to answer through them first. This is Army Corps land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're currently in the process of the pre-construction notification with the Corps. They just had a few clarifying questions, so we're going to be working that out with them, but hope to get that permit situated in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Any other questions? My main question is going to be, have you gone out there and put all the flagging and all that done out there? Or where are you going to be putting the hay bales and stuff like that there? Because we need to go do a site walk out there, and we need to know some of that information of where and when we can go do that.
So we have gone out to do the existing flagging of the resource areas, so wetland and bank. So those are identified out there. As far as staking for the erosion controls, that won't occur until a contractor selected. What the typical process is, once the order of conditions is awarded or provided, we will include that in the contract that the contractor has to abide by. And a lot of times the statement is, a field visit's necessary prior to kicking off work, and they'll have to coordinate. And ourselves and Ron will also be aware of that and be able to help coordinate that.
Okay, yeah, because we have to know, basically go see it when it's all set up with this silt fencing and all that. We need to be able to check that before you even set any construction out there.
George, is that something that's included in the order of conditions as a special condition or a boilerplate condition usually? Okay, good.
Yes.
Just want to
Yes.
make sure it's noted there to hand that off to the contractors easily.
Right. Yeah, that would be good.
George, if you wanted to go down there, if you wanted to let me know, I can bring you down there and meet you down there. Right now,
Yeah,
there's still plenty of ice and snow, so I would give it another week for it to melt, so it could be safer for you to walk around there.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can make an appointment in a couple of weeks whenever the crew wants to go out there.
Okay,
I don't know what their best day is or what, it's we usually do our site walks after 5 o'clock in the evening because of people not being home and, the members
okay, that's fine with me.
working. Oh, yeah, okay, that's fine, Ron. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have any questions from the board?
No, but I will have some additional conditions about washing equipment to make sure that there's no zebra mussel.
Yeah, that'll be in the conditions, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. David, you got any questions?
I had one, but I think he already answered it. The elevation of the existing inside corrugated pipe, would that be the same as the new inside box pipe?
Does anybody have an answer?
Yeah, I think Dan's looking for the next,
Give me 1 second here.
Okay, no problem.
he's got a printout showing.
All right, so the existing invert on the upstream side is right around elevation 823. And then hold on 1 sec. So it varies going through the pipe. We're actually going to fill this culvert with a natural substrate. So the inlet side is going to be higher than the outlet side. Quickly, it looks like the inlet side is going to be right around 823. Yeah, so we tried to match that elevation.
Okay. Did you have an idea on the size of riprap?
Yeah, we're going to go with a large stone riprap. Mass DOT has a bunch of different classifications of riprap styles. This is going to be what we call, I think it's actually either riprap or dumped riprap. So, what does that say? Yeah, that's dumped riprap. If I recall, that's anywhere from like a 2-foot diameter boulder and then some smaller gradation, 12, maybe with a minimum size of roughly 6 inch. So it's going to be larger size stone.
Okay, that's really good.
Okay.
That's all my questions.
Anything else, Amanda?
Anything else? No, I'm good. Are you ready to entertain a motion?
Will somebody entertain a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the notice of intent.
I'll second the motion.
Hey, I will agree. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. And that, so, anybody have anything else to say before I close the meeting?
We need to, I guess, move the approving of the minutes. I guess we don't need to move it. There was one other thing, George, but my calendar is just not opening so I can see them.
It's not the right.
I think
It is-
George was just closing the hearing.
Oh, the hearing. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I'm closing the hearing for this particular one. We said all those in favor. Everybody said okay. So that's the hearing for the Royalston Road has now been officially closed for this evening at 6:16 p.m. Although we already said we're in favor. So now we can move on to our next bit of business.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Okay, Ron. Thank you, Ron. And
Have a good night.
yeah, we'll get back to you when we want to go out for a walk.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, thank you, Ron.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Now, move on to our next hearing. Hang on a second, I gotta put a light.
Sorry, I was panicking because I thought you were closing the whole meeting, and I was like, wait, we have other things on the agenda.
Yes, there is other things on the agenda.
Oh,
Okay,
been a
what we
day.
have, the next one is a request for partial certificate of compliance from Asher Construction. Is anybody here to represent them? Anybody there?
No, there's no one.
There's no one here. Okay, we will do a talk amongst ourselves and we will give them our decision. All right, now, Amanda, did you both get to go out there and walk that site yesterday?
No, we didn't get a chance to. But you did, right, George?
Huh?
You did, right?
Me and Dave walked it.
Awesome. What did you find?
What did we find? We found 2 4-inch pipes coming off lot 9, number 9, that were stuck out into the side of the road, and water was pouring out from both of them. Now that is a no-no, and that is a highway issue. And I talked to Culvert Highway. He was supposed to go look at it, but he did not get back to me. In the back of the house, you got that great big pile of dirt that nothing's been done with. The sewer system, the septic tank was never closed over the top, was never filled up over the top, and nothing was attempted with straw or anything to do anything with it. And that road out, the berm on the side of the road, that it does not go over good with me, because we had discussed this way back before I went in the hospital with the contractor. He couldn't do what he's doing, part of what he's doing. And, Dave, what have you got to say? Anything I forgot?
No, you did it all.
So I make a motion to deny his request.
Second.
And maybe write a letter to have him correct what's wrong.
What we need to do is have them come down and have a site walk with the commission before they go back in there to do any more work. All those in favor of doing that letter and sending it to them and denying them the partial COC? Can I get a motion?
I get a motion. I make a motion to approve that.
Oh.
The denial.
Okay, all those in favor? Amanda? You still there, Amanda? I can't hear you.
Sorry, we just froze. We both voted yes.
Yeah.
Okay, David,
Yes.
you also vote no?
Yes.
And I will vote no also, to deny the partial letter of COC. And they will have to get hold of us to before they can start any more construction. Laurie, can you take care of that?
Yes, what I'll do is I'll draft a letter and I'll send it to you guys for your approval with the information that you just said.
Okay,
And you can add or edit whatever you want on that.
okay. And then we will, I will get back to Bob and see what he suggests doing over there also. Because I'm sure he did not allow the four pieces of pipe sticking out. There is a town bylaw that you cannot do that.
Right.
Okay. So everybody's in favor, so I guess we can close that hearing at 6:22.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
Okay. Anybody want to second it? I will second it to close the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Girls are frozen again.
I did not complete the minutes, as you guys can probably
Right, I
figure
was just
out.
getting
We
ready to
didn't
say
get a
that, yeah.
copy, so
Yeah, we will do the meeting minutes next month
that's,
with these.
thank you very much.
And is there anything else you need?
There is nothing else I need at this time.
Okay, the meeting, I'll officially close the meeting at 6:22 PM. So you can get to your other meeting.
Thank you very much. And I will